what's up, everybody? Welcome to another exciting episode of Full Circle. I'm your host, as always, Harmon Jr. Please follow me on your favorite social media at Harmon Jr.
And I'm Fradette. Find me at your least favorite media at Toon Velo. You know, for some people, that might be the same place.
Oh.
Fun fact.
Well, there you go.
Right? We have an exciting episode for you today. We're back. We're in the new year. The Earth has made a full circle.
Around the sun.
Around the sun.
Which is round, and the Earth is also round.
That was a different topic. That was a different episode, but we definitely covered it. So we'll be talking about manga. Where do you read it now? Because the most popular manga streaming site, Mangastream, I just got it, has been shut down.
We'll also be talking about the best games of the decade. And yes, we know. People have done that to death. But we're talking about by the critical scores.
By the numbers.
Yeah, so by the numbers, by the books, no opinion, just facts.
But first and foremost, it is New Year's. Last year, we made several nerdy New Year's resolutions. Woo! Lock fingers. Auld Lang Syne. So,
That's like one of my favorite songs that you never know the lyrics to.
Right. Well, I mean, it's in Latin.
Is it?
Oh, it's Auld Lang Syne.
That's how.
Let not the ancients be forgot and never brought to mind. Okay, but so how did we do on our resolution? So we have each other's resolutions,
right.
And we're gonna shame each other. Maybe.
Okay.
Do you want to shame me first? Or?
Yes. All right, Jared.
Okay.
Your first resolution was reading the manga of My Hero Academia, Seven Deadly Sins, One Punch Man, and Hunter x Hunter.
Well, okay, so I cheated. I assembled this list. So my thing was just read more manga, period, and I listed those as examples.
Oh. Okay.
So I think I actually did fairly well on this. I'm caught up on My Hero. I'm caught up on Hunter x Hunter. I think I lost. That one's given out in such a fitty spurt that I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the author's gonna make it to see this end, unfortunately.
Right. So I mean, but I read up until he went on like a 6-month hiatus. And I don't remember if I read after that. The others I had not read, and I'm gonna have to figure out a way to read them.
All right, what's mine?
We're going back and forth.
Oh, we don't have to.
Let's just do.
Right. Learn the Adobe suites.
Ooh, okay. So I did not do so well on this, but this one I swear is not my fault. Like whenever I tried to go deeper into After Effects and Premiere. My computer was just hitting, like, it was just, like, draining my computer in an unnecessarily large amount.
Need more RAM.
No, we just either need a different program or something.
Ooh, Adobe make better product.
It's like, it gorges itself on RAM, and it's like, you don't need to be doing this.
All right. Actually learn the games we're playing. I think this is specifically Smash, so...
Okay, yeah, so I'd like to say I did fairly well with this. I now consistently rank in Elite Smash. I'm Zelda. I was trying to think. Other games where there's large meta, I don't really play. I guess Pokemon would be the other one, but...
it's still developing.
It's developing.
Well, I guess you had already done that. You just gotta...
True.
So
I need to stay on top of that, but I also haven't completed the decks. I know I don't have to, but my goal is complete the decks.
It's so accessible.
And then launch into the further meta. It's accessible and not because... Even though it's greatly improved, I miss the feature of the GTS where I could just ask directly for a Pokemon. Because trying to find people on Twitter and our times don't always sync up, right? Even if it's not asking for a feature, I wish I could just be like, "Hey Odell, I'm going to trade you a SQ,"
and then I have 24 hours to accept the request or something.
Yeah, just a delay would be more helpful. But okay, so let's
right.
I'll read you yours.
See how I did.
Odell promised that he was going to work on his gaming backlog and/or promised he would only buy one game at a time and then complete that game. Did you do this?
Yes and no.
Okay.
My backlog. Damn, I'm just gonna say no on that one. It's maybe had 2 more games added to it, if anything.
Well, no, it shouldn't have, because you just you bought a game and then you completed it. Was the goal?
No, cause I remember. Okay, I was at Best Buy and Mirror's Edge 2 Catalyst, Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Mm-hmm. It was on sale. It was $9, and I was like,
"That's pretty good."
Yeah, it's one of those games where it was like, "Oh, $9. Yeah. And I haven't played it.
Womp womp.
And but I think I did legit buy like one game at a time.
Okay.
This might have been a bad year for me because I feel like I probably bought the least amount of games due to financial restrictions and other things. So yes, I definitely met that goal, but not as much as I wanted to. I did a lot of sacrificing this year, like 3 games coming out. Well, I'll get this one, and the other 2 will probably never see the light of day.
Wow. Well, okay, it's an effort. It's still progress.
And then I got Xbox Game Pass, which is really cool. So this is the part, yes, because I played 2 games that I hadn't played because they were on there, but they were indie titles, so it didn't take me too long. And I played like 1 newish game. So I think overall, if I had to give myself a grade mark on that, I probably failed, like collectively.
Well, okay. Then you might not like this next one. You promised you were going to write skits for the show.
Damn. I mean, skits were made. I mean, in the sense, okay.
I didn't see them.
Okay. Things were made that didn't see the light of day for various reasons.
I think that counts. Were they Were they in your head or were they on paper? I would only count them if they were written down.
No, I meant no to the written down, but yes, they were made.
Okay.
Like the one recently, like the end of the year stuff. But then that was the glaring technical issue that I showed you.
Yeah.
And but
literally glaring glasses. Yeah.
But it was still.
It's true. Okay.
Like it won't see the light of day because it's just at this point. Like back in the day, I would put some of that quality up. Now I'm beyond that, so it's just the quality of like again. If there was just a technical issue, I would still take myself because if I would have looked at the footage earlier or got it would have been able to be reshot. But at that point, it was too late to be reshot.
This is again always the problem of a 2-man team. It's like, okay, you gotta just kind of set the camera and hope it works.
So I guess I would give myself an A for effort, as in
A for effort.
Effort,
because effort is spelled with an E.
Oh, I see. I thought I messed up.
No.
Yeah, see, okay, yeah, you're making fun of that statement.
Yes.
And there was stuff at like Comic-Con we shot that like never saw the light of day.
It's true. There's just.
I mean, again, we were a 3-man team, but like we shot enough stuff for like a full-on production. I feel like
we could have done more.
So there was quirky stuff, like even stuff like going back to January last year, we shot at PAX. That again never saw the light of day.
That was bad filming. But...
So. Okay, so we got halfway. Now this year's gonna happen. It's like
we're gonna keep going up the hump. Here we go.
All right.
And your third one overall is kind of tied to the second. You became a better writer. You wrote lots of articles this year.
Damn. I'm sure I became a better writer.
Okay.
I didn't write nearly as much as I probably should have.
Well,
I probably like in terms of like
quality is better than quantity.
That's true. But in terms of what I thought I was gonna write, I maybe hit like 10% of that.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna be pumping out like 2-3 articles a month.
Well, yeah, that could be a new goal. So speaking of new goals, we'll run down real quick 3 new resolutions we have going into 2020. Right. I'll just do mine first. Okay, so my first goal is I want to host at least one D&D game. I will be the dungeon master for at least one D&D game this year. You viewers may even get to hear it.
That's very obtainable.
Thank you. This next one is maybe more lofty. They get loftier. So I want to write at least one media review per month.
Oh.
So my goal is like these would be like TV or movie reviews. Probably movies because that's literally only like an hour versus
a season.
Yeah. And then my last one is so I mentioned this in the last year and it failed greatly for character creator for Adobe Suite. But my goal is not to master that, but I want to at least make the puppet rigs that could be imported. So we at least have the tool that we might be able to use. If nothing else, there'll be cutesy little animated stills of me and Odell. I feel I can at least do that much, right? Maybe not animate them, but you'll see us. It's
all right. So all right, my goals. All right, first, I want to finally start writing my fanfics and original stories.
You really should.
Like I have a lot of material. I have characters. I have characters. Like I just need to. If my goal is, I want to say, if we're just using a book format, have like a full-on chapter done for each series, which there's only really 3 main ones. So at least 3 chapters done, either 3 chapters in one series or a chapter for each. Point is, there's the goal: 3 full chapters.
That's a good goal.
I'm not sure how long a chapter should be, but I'm saying chapter in this, like, it's lengthy. You know, it's not like I wrote 2 pages and was like, yeah, a chapter.
Be as long as you feel the chapter needs to be.
Yeah, all right. So my next one is, all right. So I think I'm finally, all the foundation I need to make good videos is there. Now in 2020, we're going to the next level. We're going like full on, you know, slow-mo, freeze frames, cut away, just basically increase video production.
Okay.
You know, it's been here, you know, it's cool. Now we're going to like, whoa.
So what's the metric that you have increased video production?
I wanted to be just the quality of it. I mean, different videos have different
Got
things.
it.
I just
2160 FF DPI. There we go.
okay. You know, you can look at a video and like see like someone's first YouTube video versus like, you know, I just want the production quality. Like,
here, I'm gonna give you a metric, and you can maybe say yay or nay. I want you to create for us a good, proper outro.
Nah.
Okay, never mind.
No. Overall, okay. So example, you have a video that looks like, oh, it was just made by like someone with a camera, and you have a video that looks like it was made by, you know, a production company.
Yeah.
I want to get as close to like made by a production company as possible.
So I'm asking though, like, where's the hinge point? Where can we say that's good? How do you quantify that?
I mean, I don't think you really can. Like, first of all, I don't think an outro would qualify as like.
It would make the video look more professional.
I mean, it would, but like if the intro is cool and the outro is cool, just like cool animations, then the regular is just still the same quality. I feel overall, it'd be like one of those things like. You know how Disney has the castle, you know?
Yeah.
And then it goes into like someone with a camcorder and they're just, you know, it's like, well, I mean, that was great. That was a great 15 seconds.
Well, okay. Well, I guess in the next year, at the end of next 2021, I'll just ask you, did you succeed or not? So third goal, bring it at us.
Bring a what?
Tell us your next goal.
Oh, okay. Oh, get paid to do gaming media stuff.
That's a good goal.
Full time.
Good goal. So we've been talking a lot about media, but let's look back at the decade now, right? Ooh. So I pulled all of these numbers immediately from the Metacritic site, exactly just what they gave. So obviously some caveats to this data is it does not filter or sort by type of game or platform of game, number of copies bought, were they indie developers or not. This is literally just all the flat-out games ranked 1, 2, whatever.
Yes, and these are just the best ranked games. For example, Avatar. Is it a great movie? Nah. But is it the highest grossing movie of all time? It always sits at the number 1 on most lists? Yeah, so essentially that. We're not saying these are definitively the greatest games of all time, even though some are.
Right. So how I did this exactly is these are just literally ranked by their Metacritic score, best to lowest. So, number 1, Super Mario Odyssey 2017. Super Mario Galaxy 2 2010.
Wait, is this number 1 as the highest, or we're going like 1 and 10 is going to be the highest?
No, 1. This is absolutely number 1, the best.
Oh, okay.
So these games get worse. We started out great, we're just going to get progressively worse now. Next is Grand Theft Auto 5. And so this is an asterisk because it was actually up on this list for 2013, 14, and 15 release dates. But it's still just the one game, so I listed it once. Red Dead Redemption 2, 2018. Mm-hmm. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, 2017.
What number is that?
Number 5, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Number 6, The Last of Us, which again was released in 13 and 14, but only listed once now. Mass Effect 2, 2010. Red Dead Redemption 2010. So kind of this whole list is like 2010 was again also just like the best year for these games.
The first year of the decade was the best.
So everything just got like this list. Everything just got worse as it went along. Portal 2 2011, and of course God of War the 2018 version.
All right, so I'm gonna give special credit to God of War, The Last of Us, and possibly GTA 5. Because it's multiple releases, but those games came out literally at the tail end of the decade and was still able to
swoop up.
Like, I mean, God of War only had like what, a year and a half worth of, collectible data to even make the list.
Mm-hmm.
But also, to no one's surprise, I mean, almost one half of the list. What was it? 3 Nintendo games.
Yeah, and in the top 5 at that.
Yeah. So Breath of the Wild, not surprising. Super Mario Odyssey, I kind of do find that surprising.
A little bit, yeah. I think. Well, okay, this was like on the Switch, and I think it made really useful and intuitive use of the Switch's abilities. Right, everything else like the 3DS and the dual screen gimmicks were always kind of like, yeah, cool. Even like Skyward Sword. It's like I don't like doing this motion with a sword. It never quite worked out. This is the first I feel real good application of a Nintendo gimmick.
So my thing about Super Mario Odyssey, I love the game, but it's not my favorite Mario game, and I'm not sure why. There's something about it, like it feels like the best student in the school, but the grandmaster's like, you're still not a master.
It's like yes, you are a good technical piano player, but where's your soul?
Yeah, there you go. It's like, yeah. But on the caveat that the fact Super Mario Galaxy is number 2 is like, I feel that's well deserved from A to Z.
Yeah, no, it's probably one of my favorite Mario games.
It's because Mario 64 was just like a bar that no one thought anyone could pass, and Mario Galaxy came out and everybody was just like, my God.
Mario Galaxy 2.
Oh, Mario Galaxy 2.
Yeah,
which was basically just all fun.
Which again was incredibly surprising. It did well for a sequel. So I had a few more metrics I just wanted to put out. If you did not like this breakdown of the list, I also have some metadata about what maybe is the best and worst year per decade. So we could say possibly 2014 was the worst gaming year of the decade, because fewer than 4% of games ranked 87% or higher. Or
trash year.
Right. And by the same metric, 2017 was the best year because 9% had the same ranking. However, if we divide like number of good games by how many games total, we get a different ranking. So in average of best to worst would actually be 2018, 11, 16, 12, 10, 14, 13, 15, 19, 17. You got that, viewers?
18 was a good year.
So I was going to say, well, notably interesting is by this different metric, 2017, which I just said was best because it had a high percentage of games that ranked high, has by percentage game per game is actually the worst year.
Huh.
So so you could easily say like, yeah, a lot of games in 2017 were 88%. So they all rank the lowest of these. Does that make sense?
Fun with numbers.
Sorry, I'm like, we could put up graphics that should make it easier.
Fun with numbers.
I should have been an analyst. But yeah, so that's the decade in retrospect. But we've got a brand new year in our hand. This isn't all about what's happening in the past. So let's talk about our most anticipated games personally for the upcoming year 2020. So I'm looking forward to, I just listed it 3, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Deathloop, right? Again, from Dishonored series, I think 2 people trapped on an island and they have conflicting views about how to get out of this death loop. One thinks they have to continue to get out of the death loop.
The other one thinks they have to kill the other one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they both conclude they have to kill the other one, but yeah.
One is more pacifist in this and one's more like...
just enjoying it, yeah. And then, I actually listed 4. Wow.
Oh, whoa. Slow down, Jared.
Elder Scrolls 6. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the Elder Scrolls, simply because, well, that's a different topic. But I'm like, okay, we've ridden Skyrim for the past, 20 years, it feels. Is 6 going to actually be any better, or is it just going to be hilariously... I'm anticipating dragging it.
I feel, okay, let's be real. Skyrim and Fallout players are the same. You're not really expecting any improvements, and you're not really demanding any. Okay, that might change after Fallout 76 because there's only so much you can do.
There's only so much you can take.
Yeah. And it wasn't like, it wasn't that it was bad and it was like whatever. It's like they kept getting worse somehow. How can you make a bad game just progressively get worse is beyond me.
Right? All you have to do is copy paste and put new characters in, but you didn't do that.
Usually you just start bad, people hate it, and then it's like you try to save face, but it's too late. This was just like, forget saving face, just
dig, dig, dig. Okay, so my last one is, of course, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2.
Woo. It better come out this year.
Right, I mean, it's expected to come out.
I mean, we got a trailer.
There's no there's no official release date, but okay. So give us yours real quick.
All right, I'm gonna start with like the not official. We don't know when they're coming games. That's gonna be Legends of the Breath of the Wild 2 for me as well, and also Metroid Prime 4.
Right.
Which those games like they just kind of went like on. They're coming out, especially Metroid Prime 4.
That's been in the works here for a little bit.
Yeah. So going Metroid Prime 4. Legends of the Breath of the Wild 2, new Mario Kart ? That's my surprise guess.
If that comes out, I will be surprised.
Or maybe like just some updated tracks. I could do that.
That's not a game. That's DLC.
All right. So for my games that are actually coming out, The Last of Us Part Dos. Really excited for that. Ori and Will of the Wisp, which is also a Part Dos. We're just gonna do that. So that's my new pose. Final Fantasy Remake, which is a dose in a certain sense.
Oh my god, the second iteration of it.
Yeah, I mean it looks good. What else? Oh no, I think that's kind of it. Like there's some other games that like I am looking forward to, but those are like, ooh, Ori. I mean, I talked about that.
You are a big fan of Ori, yeah.
Yeah, like that's like my piece de la resistance. The Final Fantasy, cool. I am looking forward to Resident Evil 3 Remake because those games set a great standard for remakes, and I won't play it because I can't play those type of games. Mm-hmm. But my roommate would most likely get it, and I'll enjoy watching him play it.
I'll thoroughly enjoy watching the gameplay.
So that one gets an honorable mention because this will be me playing it.
Especially now that it's like in high def.
Yeah, like I'll have a goddamn heart attack.
Fair enough.
So those are my most anticipated games of the year. And I was gonna look for some indie games to say, but the really only one is Ori, and the rest of them are just kind of like. Eh. I didn't know Deathloop actually had a confirmed 2020 release.
Yes, it does.
Oh, since we're talking about Ubisoft, oh duh, Watch Dogs Legion.
It's Bethesda.
Is it? I thought it was Ubisoft.
Bethesda and Arcane, right? Dishonored.
Oh, well, it reminded me of Ubisoft. And Ubisoft.
Get out of here with that Assassin's Creed trash.
Watch Dogs Legion is gonna come out. I mean, it's weird. It's like I was excited for that, and then it just kind of waned because I felt like it should just came out last year.
Probably.
It just would have made more sense.
But could it get on our list of games of the decade? Decade?
Probably not.
Yeah, they're playing the long game here.
The long game.
So
and does PS5 count as a game?
No.
I'm counting it now. I'm excited. You play it?
No. I'm just gonna say no.
You know what? You know what? It's gonna be a new feature. It's gonna be like what games come out for PS5? It is the game.
Oh my god. Okay. Fair enough. Right.
So speaking of the closing out the decade, everyone didn't make it. Specifically, Mangastream and Jasninbox. Jasninbox. So Mangastream has been basically the go-to site to read scanslations because they're scanning the pages and translating them scanslation. Mm-hmm. Because they've been literally for the decade since like 2009, 2010, the number one spot people read manga from. What they did is they got copies of the manga, they scanned them, translated them, you read it, high quality scans. They were literally, and I know especially in the early part of the decade, like the premier place, like other scanlation sites literally just took their scans and re-uploaded them to theirs until they started like
suffering Xerox loss.
So sometime in late December, I logged on the manga stream to read my manga, and it was not there.
It just said site not found.
Wow. And so I went to Twitter, and everyone was like,
"Is the server down? What's with this?"
And so Mangastream quietly went off into the night. No warning, no messages, no nothing. And then Jasninbox, probably the second best site, went under as well. And okay, these sites are illegal in essence. They're pirating manga. They're scanning it for us to read for free.
I like to say again, you can't always find the manga for these things in stores or in libraries. has pretty much been one of the only places you could easily access backlogs of manga.
Yeah, so if you didn't live in Japan and you didn't speak Japanese,
You're SOL.
Yeah, so we relied heavily on these sites. Now, as time progressed, like Viz Media started having its own shonen membership,
which we actually mentioned the very last New Year's podcast.
Yeah, it's $2 a month. It's highly
circle.
It's highly affordable, but that wasn't until recently. So I don't know when it came into play. I'll just say put it halfway mark 2015, but it wasn't always there. And so yes, we're not saying pirating is right, but they correct when you can't access the information legally. For example, like you can't watch Pokemon, you can't watch the Beastars anime. Like there's no legal means to do that. So someone gets a copy of the Japanese version and just makes their own translations and then uploads it to the internet. These are things, and yes, we know money is ultimately the reason why these things don't exist. But I would like to argue that you lose more money because people then pirate it. People who would have normally paid for it with zero issue now pirate it because they literally have no other option.
There's no option to buy it.
So, but here's the caveat here.
There's some drama around it.
So, Reddit user Bentoki, Bentoki, has been credited with the destruction of Mangastream.
Credited, accused, confessed to, backtracked on.
Yeah. So, supposedly, again, this is just information from the message boards because Mangastream has yet to come out to release any statement whatsoever. All their social medias have been deactivated. That they reported to the Canadian police. I don't know if that's where their home base is, but they reported to the Canadian police investigations, which inevitably led to them shut down, which a complaint troll message, whatever you want to call it, was sent to Canadian police, supposedly by the Reddit user Bentoki, and he was banned from the R manga subreddit, and got a whole bunch of message board backlash. So he released his own official statement saying that he didn't do it. Him and the moderators, they just never got along. And then once the news broke, him and his group of cohorts decided it would be funny for him to make a post saying how he was so upset with them and he did it. He received a whole bunch of backlash and said, "Oh no, I didn't do it." So per him, he didn't do it. Made a post saying he did do it just to be a troll. Got a lot of backlash, and now he's saying, "No, that's not really what happened."
Sounds like Schrodinger's douchebag. He's just kidding, unless you agree with him, and then it's serious.
So who knows? But a bigger issue here, Jared, that I see is, so even though you can get shonen manga from the sites, there's plenty of manga that aren't shonen.
It's true.
And I got
believe it or not.
So one of my favorite non-shonen mangas is called A Trail of Blood, which I read on Mangastream. And then once it got shut down, it was like, cool, yeah, I can buy a shonen membership from Viz, but where do I get all my non-shonen manga from? These subscription services, legal services, don't exist.
Right. We're entering the new year on uneven footing and uncertain times.
So yeah, I don't know. How you feel about pirating, Jared?
You shouldn't do it. Absolutely not. Always find legal ways to purchase your goods and services.
Ding! But, I mean, you get this show for free.
Yeah. But if you would like to pony up and give us money anyway, we'd like to take this time to thank all our patrons.
Woo!
Again, they get early access to things.
Behind the scenes looks. So start the year off right. Lots of Patreon.
Yeah. Get their names here displayed on YouTube.
Yeah, where all the world can see.
So find us on Patreon. Find us on Twitter and everything at FC Podcast 23. For Full Circle Podcast, I am Jared Fradette. You can find me then further at Toon Velo.
And I'm Odo Harmon Jr. Find me at Odo Harmon Jr.
Thanks for coming again to another episode, and we look forward to seeing you future in the new year.
Have a great week, everybody.